I would not
I'm
consider
not ready
myself
to
a
go
great
there yet.
football mind, but
I
I would
respect
say
your
that
football
I
acumen and opinion. I wouldn't call it a great football mind. I'm not ready to
yeah,
go that far.
no. I'm not. I'm saying there are people who know way more football than I do who are bad at predicting. Because I think it's probably because of the way that we look at the game. Now, there were talks on, even if you watch the Sunday Night Football show on NBC, right? With Tony Dungy, Chris Sims, Mike,
Collinsworth
I forgot his
has
name.
been.
But they're like, hey, Mike Vrabel should be in the conversation for Coach of the Year because the Tennessee Titans, with a bunch of reasons why they should not be the number one team in the AFC, they are. Why? I mean, it's unexplainable. It's like, wait a second. There's no reason the Titans are not a great team. They're not a great team. No one looks at them and say, "Oh, the Titans are great." Okay, hey, they got AJ Brown. AJ Brown is awesome, right? Their defense, they got a couple of big names, and after that, it's like, why is their defense good? So my
Right.
thing with my
So
thing with
here's
the
the
Titans
thing to that. So here's the thing
uh-huh.
to that, right? So why in the hell are the Titans doing what they're doing? Nobody expecting them to do what they're doing. Give Mike Vrabel Coach of the Year because looking at his roster and how the season started, and you don't have Derrick Henry. How has he been able to accomplish what he's accomplished? Those same
hmm
football heads,
And
those same great
I was right on Derrick Henry.
yeah, that's cute, but we're not talking about that right now. So those same football great heads will crown pretty much even yourself crown the Cleveland Browns before the season started because they had all of this beautiful whatever on their roster, and those same beautiful minds that you were talking about. Yo, the
hmm
Cleveland Browns are it. They are those guys. They have X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and one,
Yep.
two, three, and they
Yep.
are not even in the playoffs. So
Yep.
is that just crediting more to like y'all ain't good at predictions even when you think you see a great team?
I think that says more about the game of football that there is. Um, I think it says two things. So I'm gonna say one thing about them and another thing about me. One, it says something about the game of football, right? The game of football is hard to predict, right? It's there are a lot of things can go one way. Hey, no one saw before the 2017 season. No one saw the Jazz going to the AFC Championship, right? Hey, with Blake Bortles, there's no way, right? But they end up doing it. It had a bunch of things go their way. They end up doing it, right? So that happens in the game of football, right? One thing that I messed up in my analysis of a lot of things this year is I have taken too much stock in the totality of a team, right? Hey, if I look at players 1 through 53, and I do an analysis of every position, hey, the totality of the team, I think that they can do X, Y, and Z, right? What things like the Chiefs this year, the Bengals this year, right? One of the reasons why I didn't buy into the Bengals, because I didn't see them as the totality of the team and the coaching staff, really the coaching staff, but the totality of the team as well. I didn't see them being a great. But if you have players in the right positions that are excellent, they can carry you a long way. And so I didn't see that. So even for the Titans, and that's gonna be the last thing to say. Ryan Tannehill has played great this year, even without a lot of great things on offense for him, and having great talent at the defensive tackle position and at the safety position for the Titans defense. They've been able to figure out a way to put it together. So you know, so there's some things that we can mess up in that predictions.
I have one more question and then we'll go to football. I mean basketball. So putting too much stock, as you said, into the totality of a team. Hey, 1 through 53, talented, boom, 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 boom. They should be able to do X, Y, Z. But as a coach, right? What does talent mean if guys aren't really coached in the right position? Now, granted, you may have a talented team, but you suffer due to injuries and other factors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think as it relates to football, how I do my best to learn the X's and O's, but also try to go off the consistency of, okay, I know there's a lot of variables, but said X player through his body of work that has shown that he's a pretty fairly consistent anomaly on the field, to where if he's playing great, good 8 out of 10 times, that's going to work well for the team overall, right? And that's not necessarily the totality of talent. That's just really banking or riding or betting or predicting on one player playing great. So how do you move forward from this season and understanding, no, not everybody's great at predictions, and looking at, okay, not trying to put and bet your whole stock on talent, and try to go about thinking, okay, what type of schemes are these teams going to be running with these players, or who's possibly going to get beat out, or and not just who are they playing, and this team has more talent than this team, so this team should beat them, and Vegas is going to do it this way, but putting the X's and O's on how you think the team is going to play and how that will work for the talent.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. I put a lot of that stuff in the analysis. The one thing I did not put into as much stock was hey, this team has a great quarterback, MVP level quarterback, great receiver, great tight end. Maybe that's about all you need to win games, right? I looked at, well, hey, this team has a mediocre quarterback, but everything else is great. I think they can do something, right? I looked at stuff like X's and O's. One of the reasons why I thought the Browns would be great is, hey, even though Baker Mayfield is not that great of a quarterback, he looked pretty good last year. I have a lot of confidence in Kevin Stefanski. I have a lot of confidence in Andrew Berry, the GM. I have a little bit of confidence in the DC, but I think the talent there will override his ineptitude, right? Where that didn't happen this year, and so
you see what happens when you have talent but not the right coaching, i.e., say with Bill O'Brien.